Picking up an unknown signal on the northern grid. It's not responding to hails. Keep watching the feed. If it moves closer, I want to know immediately.
At exactly 0150 hours on May 19, 1944, Lieutenant Commander Walton Pendleton stood inside the tight, dimly lit Combat Information Center of the destroyer escort USS England. The air smelled of oil, sweat, and warm electronics. Sonar pings echoed through the compartment as an operator tracked a faint contact moving at 6 knots beneath the pitch-black waters north of Bougainville. Pendleton was 37 years old. This was his first war patrol as a commanding officer. His record showed 0 submarine kills. Ahead of him, hidden under the Pacific, moved an enemy that had already claimed countless American ships. The Imperial Japanese Navy had positioned 7 submarines in a long scouting line across the sea routes leading toward the Marianas. Their mission was simple but deadly: spot the American fleet before it struck. USS England was not a large ship. She was a Buckley-class destroyer escort, nearly 77 feet shorter than a fleet destroyer. She was not built for glory. She was built for one task only: to hunt submarines. Mounted on England's forward deck was a weapon most captains distrusted: 24 short steel barrels, arranged in neat rows, pointed forward like a spiked crown. The British called it Hedgehog. Unlike depth charges, Hedgehog did not roll off the stern. Instead, it fired forward, throwing its projectiles 200 yards ahead of the ship in a circular pattern. Each projectile carried 35 pounds of Torpex explosive and used contact fuses. That difference changed everything. Depth charges exploded whether they hit anything or not. Hedgehog only detonated if it struck solid metal. No explosion meant a miss. Silence meant failure. For decades, depth charges had been the standard. British records told the truth: 5,174 depth charge attacks, resulting in only 85 confirmed kills, 1 success for every 60 attacks. By the time depth charges detonated, submarines had already moved. Worse, the explosions churned the water so violently that sonar became useless for 15 minutes, giving submarines time to escape. Hedgehog kept sonar contact throughout the attack. Still, early trials showed only a 5% success rate. Crews didn't trust it. Captains preferred the familiar thunder of depth charges. Pendleton preferred numbers. Pendleton had studied the statistics carefully. Hedgehog averaged 1 kill for every 5 attacks. Depth charges averaged 1 kill for every 80. The math was undeniable. 4 days earlier, Fleet Radio Unit Pacific had decoded a Japanese transmission. Submarine I-16 had reported her destination and arrival time: 2200 hours, May 19th. The intelligence was perfect. England and 2 sister ships positioned themselves directly along I-16's route. Now the sonar contact confirmed it. The submarine was real. The hunt had begun. At 13:41 hours, Pendleton ordered the first Hedgehog attack. 24 projectiles arced through the sky and vanished into the sea. They sank silently, no explosions. A Miss I-16 was maneuvering aggressively, radical turns, changing depth, standard Japanese evasion tactics. The second attack scored 1 hit at 130 feet. The explosion lifted England's bow, but it wasn't enough. The third attack missed completely. Then the fathometer revealed the problem. I-16 had gone far deeper than expected, 325 feet. The fourth attack missed again. The submarine turned inside the pattern. At 14:33, Pendleton ordered the fifth attack. This time, 4 detonations, then 6 more erupted beneath the ship. A massive underwater explosion followed. England's stern lifted clear out of the water. Sailors were thrown to the deck. 20 minutes later, debris surfaced. Oil, wood, fabric. I-16 was gone. 107 men were dead. Fleet Radio Unit Pacific had more news. 7 Japanese submarines were deployed along a patrol line designated NA, stretching from Truk Island westward. Their names were known: RO-104, RO-105, RO-106, RO-108, RO-109, RO-112, RO-116, each carried 56 crewmen. Their mission: detect American carrier movements toward the Marianas or Palau Islands. Admiral Somu Toyoda needed eyes in the ocean. Commander Hamilton Haines ordered England to join USS George and USS Raby. 3 ships, 7 submarines. The odds looked impossible, but Pendleton had proven something. Hedgehog worked. The hunting group departed Purvis Bay on May 21st. They moved in line abreast formation, spaced 16,000 yards apart, radar sweeping every 30 seconds, sonar active constantly. Japanese submarines had gone silent. No radio transmissions, no precise fixes. Now it would come down to patience, electronics, and mathematics. Submarines followed predictable routines: surface at night, recharge batteries, dive at dawn, run submerged during daylight. Radar detection windows were short. England's crew drilled relentlessly. Hedgehog could be loaded and fired in 90 seconds. Every attack was a gamble, but a precise one. At 03:52 on May 22nd, George detected a surface contact, RO-106. The submarine crash-dived. George fired Hedgehog. Miss England regained sonar contact. At 04:25, RO-106 maneuvered hard. Pendleton's sonar team tracked every turn, every depth change. The second Hedgehog attack detonated with 3 explosions, then a massive underwater blast. The shockwave rippled across the surface. At sunrise, oil spread for half a mile. Kill number 2. On May 23rd, RO-104 was detected. Raby and George attacked repeatedly, all misses. The Japanese commander was skilled, turning perfectly inside every pattern. Haines watched England approach. He radioed 5 words that became legend. "Oh, hell, go ahead, England." Pendleton's second attack scored 10 detonations. The explosions merged into one continuous roar. Metal tore apart. Batteries ruptured. Oil surfaced hours later. Kill number 3. At Eron 20 on May 24th, RO-116 was detected. Instead of diving deep, her commander stayed shallow, 150 feet, making sharp turns. Pendleton adjusted instantly. 3 detonations punched holes through the pressure hull. Water flooded in at lethal speed. The submarine sank slowly. Pressure increased. Heat rose. Within minutes, the crew suffocated. Oil surfaced after sunrise. Kill number 4. Word reached Admiral Ernest King, Chief of Naval Operations. 1 destroyer escort. 4 kills. 5 days. He sent a message. There'll always be an England in the United States Navy. Admiral Halsey wanted England reassigned. Too valuable to lose, Haines argued. 3 submarines remained. Halsey approved 1 final patrol. On May 26th, Raby detected RO-108. England gained sonar contact. Raby attacked. Miss Haines ordered again. "Go ahead, England." England's attack struck with multiple hits. The submarine imploded. 56 men died in under 3 seconds. Kill number 5. RO-105 adapted. Deep, 400 feet, silent running, engine stops. Pendleton waited. After 4 hours, the submarine surfaced unexpectedly, drifting with the current. England reacquired contact. RO-105 ran fast, 6 knots, changing speed constantly. 2 attacks missed. Pendleton noticed a pattern, regular turns. He adjusted. The 4th attack shattered the submarine. Oil surfaced at 615. Kill number 6. 1 submarine remained, RO-109. She fled after receiving warnings. She survived the war. 6 submarines destroyed in 12 days. 135 Japanese sailors dead. The record was unmatched. Hedgehog became standard fleet-wide. Training changed. Doctrine changed. England never fired Hedgehog again. On October 31st, 1944, a kamikaze strike crippled her. Repairs were deemed uneconomical. She was scrapped in 1946. Pendleton retired in 1961. died in 1973, buried at Arlington. The original Hedgehog sits rusting in a museum. Most visitors walk past, but the numbers remain. 6 submarines, 12 days, 1 ship. Long after the oil slicks faded and the debris sank, the numbers remained. Naval analysts studied them quietly, line by line, attack by attack. The statistics coming out of USS England's patrol were unlike anything recorded in anti-submarine warfare history. Before England's mission, depth charges defined submarine hunting. 5,174 attacks, 85 kills, a brutal efficiency rate of 1.6%. Hedgehog before England showed promise but inconsistency, 1 kill. For every 26 attacks, roughly 5% effectiveness. England shattered those expectations. 6 submarines destroyed in roughly 15 Hedgehog attacks, a success rate approaching 40%. It wasn't luck, it wasn't coincidence. It was precision, discipline and mathematics executed under pressure. For the first time, the Navy understood that anti-submarine warfare was not about noise, intimidation, or overwhelming force. It was about prediction, patterns, and timing. England proved that submarines could be hunted scientifically. Within weeks, combat doctrine across the Pacific began to shift. England's after-action reports circulated quietly at first. Sonar logs, firing solutions, timing tables, turn radius estimates. Everything Pendleton's crew recorded was dissected by instructors and tacticians. Sonar operators across the fleet studied England's tracking methods, learning how to detect subtle speed changes and recognize human movement patterns beneath the sea. Hedgehog crews trained to reload faster, aim cleaner, and trust silence as confirmation. Fire control officers memorized England's engagement timelines, when to wait, when to fire, when not to guess. By September 1944, Hedgehog launchers became standard equipment on destroyer escorts across the Pacific. In the Atlantic, German U-boats began falling at unprecedented rates. 47 sunk in 268 Hedgehog attacks, a 17.5% success rate, but no ship matched England. Not in the Atlantic, not in the Pacific, not anywhere. Her 12-day record stood alone. Despite her achievements, USS England was never meant to be remembered. Destroyer escorts were disposable by design, cheap, fast to build, easy to replace. Nearly 700 were constructed during the war. Most were scrapped within 5 years of peace. England lasted barely 2.5 years. When she was cut apart in 1946, no monument marked the loss, no preserved hull, no ceremonial farewell, just steel reduced to scrap, turned into razor blades and tin cans. The men who served aboard her returned to anonymity. No parades, no headlines. Their victory was too technical, too quiet, too invisible for public celebration. History remembered carriers, battleships, massive fleet actions. England killed silently, beneath the waves, where cameras couldn't follow. Today, the original Hedgehog launcher sits in storage at the National Museum of the United States Navy, rusted, unremarkable. Most visitors walk past without stopping. The placard lists statistics. It does not list USS England. It does not list Walton Pendleton. It does not list 6 submarines lost in 12 days. Japanese post-war records confirmed everything. The attack coordinates matched exactly. The submarines, I-16 RO-106, RO-104, RO-116, RO-108, RO-105 were all destroyed where England claimed them. No survivors lived to explain what killed them. Only silence, only pressure, only mathematics. And that is how naval warfare changed, not with thunder, but with numbers trusted when tradition failed.